Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for us. Please allow me to introduce you to Jan Jorgensen. Jan is a visionary messenger with a focus on helping women step forward to lead through her weekly Be the Light meditations, voice release process, and Be the Light coaching program. A vibrational specialist, she reminds us it is our mission and joy to weave heaven to earth, and by attuning our voices to spirit through the divine feminine. Please welcome Jan of Sound and Light Healing Arts.
Hello, everyone. Good morning on this amazing day. And Jill, thank you for asking me to do the invocation today. Can you feel it? It's like a new day today. Just something so large and open has changed. I'm going to begin this invocation by just taking a deep breath through our nose and out through our mouth. As kindness torchbearers, it's our time. This is the new paradigm, and you carry the vibration. We're going to share a moment of silence together, knowing that the average person emits 20 photons of light from their heart. But when we focus on love and light, we emit 100,000 photons of light. That is 500 times power wattage. Let's take our attention and go into our hearts. Let's imagine that we are bathing all of the activities of the changing of the guard in the Capitol and the White House today. We ask that our hearts broadcast this calming love and light to all Americans, to all humans on this earth now. We will drop into a moment of silence and just beam this vibration. We take a deep breath through our nose and out through our mouth. And as we come back to this blessed kindness circle time together, we may consider taking our own personal oath. An oath to restore, rejuvenate, and realign ourselves, our communities, our relationships, and our highest service in truth and beauty and goodness, and specifically kindness. And so it is, and blessed be.
Thank you, Jan. Thank you. And I bless all of you for being here today, for spreading kindness, for putting out the energy of kindness, because that is and what will save all of us, all Americans, all the planet, all of the world. And we have many people from all over the world as part of this kindness circle. So we are like ripples on the pond. That's what I like to say, that we as kind pebbles are ripples on the pond. Go ahead, Mary Beth.
Thank you. Now I'm going to introduce Jill to you. Jill Lublin is an international speaker on the topics of radical influence, publicity, kindness, networking, and referrals. She is the author of 4 best-selling books, including Get Noticed, Get Referrals, Guerrilla Publicity, and Networking Magic. Her latest book, The Profit of Kindness, went #1 in 4 categories. Jill is a master strategist on how to position your business for more profitability and more visibility in the marketplace. She is the CEO of a strategic consulting firm, and she has over 25 years experience working with over 100,000 people, plus the national and international media. Jill teaches a virtual publicity crash course, and she consults and speaks all over the world. She also helps authors to create book deals with major publishers and agents, as well as to obtain foreign rights deals. And now she is launching her Year of Kindness, her mission to bring more kindness throughout the world. Everyone, please welcome your host, Jill Lublin.
Oh, thank you. And thank you. And so nice to see all of you here. I want to start out with a quote from a man whose name, honestly, I can't pronounce, but what the heck? The quote is incredible. And it's, kindness is love made visible. And with that, that's why I chose today's amazing thought leader to kick off our Year of Kindness. And again, I'm so excited because every single month we are going to be meeting the 3rd Wednesday of every month, same time, same channel, 10 a.m. Pacific, to keep spreading kindness, to help each other. We'll do breakout sessions together. And I'm always picking someone who I know will lead you into a conversation on kindness, who's an amazing representative of kindness in the world through their work as a thought leader, as an impact maker, as a difference maker. And today we have Steve Farber. Steve, among many things, is a great author and musician. He's an amazing person of great love and dynamicism. And I'm going to have Mary Beth do his official introduction because she's got the glasses on. And then we're going to hear from Steve with a short segment. And then he's going to provide us with a question that we're going to actually go into breakouts with. But one of the reasons I picked Steve is particularly his book, Love is Just Damn Good Business, which I adore and love. So Mary Beth, go ahead and officially introduce Steve Farber.
Absolutely. Ranked on Inc.'s listing of the top 50 leadership and management experts in the world, and #1 on Huffington Post's 12 business speakers to see, Steve Farber is a best-selling author, popular keynote speaker, and a seasoned leadership coach and consultant who has worked with a vast array of public and private organizations in virtually every arena. Farber is the former vice president of legendary management guru Tom Peters' company and is the founder and CEO of the Extreme Leadership Institute, an organization devoted to helping its clients develop award-winning cultures and achieve radical results. The Institute's team has helped over 25 companies earn a ranking on the best places to work list. Steve's 3rd book, Greater Than Yourself, debuted as a Wall Street Journal and USA Today bestseller. His 2nd book, The Radical Edge, was hailed as a playbook for harnessing the power of the human spirit. And his 1st book, The Radical Leap, A Personal Lesson in Extreme Leadership, was named one of the 100 best business books of all time. His much anticipated new book, Love is Just Damn Good Business, published by McGraw-Hill, has been featured on Wharton Radio and the World Economic Forum website and has been listed by Book Authority as one of the top business strategy books of 2020. Steve is a member of the exclusive Transformational Leadership Council and sits on the steering committee of the Community Alliance for Youth Success, co-founded by Bobby DePorter and Stedman Graham. So everyone, please welcome Steve Farber.
Thank you. Hey. Thank you, Mary Beth. Thank you, Jill. It's an honor to help kick off a Year of Kindness. A Year of Kindness as a building block, obviously, one would hope to a lifetime of kindness for all of us. I'll give you a little bit more background, and then I'm going to dive in and give you some things to think about and discuss in the circles. I've been at the work of leadership development, is one way of putting it, for about 30 years now. So I've had the opportunity to work with just about every kind of organization you can imagine in every kind of industry, oftentimes from top to bottom, to create cultures of leadership. So I've been involved in the study of leadership, the practice of leadership. I coach leaders, I'm a leader myself, and I've written about it and all that. I'm the first to admit I don't have it all figured out. I'm certainly not the guy with all the answers, but there's one thing in particular, as you can already infer from the title of my most recent book, that I didn't set out to do, but it became obvious along the way. And that was as I worked with all these clients, and I had some incredible mentors as well. I saw over and over again that this experience, this feeling, and more important, this action of love, even though we've been kind of conditioned to believe that it has no place in business, is surprising to some, right at the core of what great business is. Love is at the foundation of what great leadership is, and it is at the very core of what what makes for a thriving competitive business. And at the same time, we have, most business people, maybe not most, but certainly a lot of them, who kind of shudder at the thought. And there's people who have never even thought of using the word love and business in the same sentence. And it does make some people squirm, which is really rather unfortunate. So because if we understand, listen, nobody has to convince anybody. We're not here to convince each other that kindness is important, right? I mean, you didn't show up to this today because you're thinking, I'm thinking about this kindness thing. I'd really like some evidence that that's a good thing for us to do. We just know it. We know it in every aspect of our lives, except when we're talking about business. All of a sudden, we put it in the business context, and it's like, nah, that's got nothing to do with business. That's the stuff that you reserve for your friends and your family and all of that. But here's the thing. It seems pretty obvious when we start thinking about it this way, I think, that if we say we want love, and love and kindness I'm using rather interchangeably, and I think that's valid. If we want love we want our kids to love us. We want to love them. We want to love our friends. We want them to love us. We want to love our community. We want them to love us. We want love in every aspect of our lives, and then we go to work and it no longer applies. It just doesn't make any sense. In fact, it's kind of insane. Maybe it's literally insane to think that we arrive at our place of business, we step into that work role, and we rip our hearts out of our chest and leave it throbbing on the curb until the end of the day where we could stuff it back in our chest and go home. It doesn't make any sense. So instead, why not explore what could happen if we didn't consider love to be a nice to have or a maybe to have in business, but considered it to be an essential? Would that have an impact on our own success as people? Now, obviously, that is, I'm posing it as a bit of a rhetorical question, and it is a leading question, because obviously I believe the answer to that question is yes. The reason that I titled my recent book, Love is Just Damn Good Business, for one simple reason. It's because love is just damn good business. And the thing is, I'm sharing this with you guys from a business perspective, because I am a business guy, and we've already established how, we know that love and kindness is applicable everywhere, but it's the context of business that makes it a little bit more provocative, and I think therefore allows us our greatest opportunity to create a world of kindness. Because even in a bad economy, most people are going to work somewhere, whether they're solopreneurs or entrepreneurs or working for somebody else or working in the corporate world where I spend a lot of my time. We all go to work somewhere. So I figure this: if we can change the expectation and the experience of what it means to go to work, what it means to be in business, if we can actually change that, we change everything. We change the world that way. So I personally choose business as that playground, because I think it has the greatest leverage to it. So I want to give you the business case if that's the right word, for love. Now, first of all, I want to be clear. I'm not talking about love as a sentiment, as a warm, just simply a warm, fluffy feeling. Although there's nothing wrong with that. We all love to have that love feeling, but I'm talking about love as a practice and a discipline. Love is something that we take action in. So the question ultimately becomes, what does or what should love look like in the way that we do business? So the business case is simply this. Any business person worth his or her salt would agree with the following statement. We need our customers or clients to love us. If they don't love our product, our service, our delivery, if they don't love the experience of doing business with us, then we're in trouble. Because if it doesn't reach that level of, oh, I love this brand, I love this company, I love this product, I love doing business with you guys, then really all I am is at best, kind of satisfied. And if I'm satisfied, hey, you guys are okay, then if I get a better offer down the street, I'm gone. But when our customers love doing business with us, that's where the good stuff happens. That's where the competitive advantage comes from. That's where the money comes from. That's where the loyalty comes from, et cetera. So we should all know that. We know it because for decades, companies have been printing little buttons and printing banners that say, we love our customers. We love our customers. We've made it part of marketing campaigns and all that. Well, there's a good reason for that. Because we know, at the very least, we know it instinctually, that means they're going to do business with us longer from a business perspective. And oftentimes that's where it stops. That's where the exploration stops. So here's what I suggest. If we want our customers or clients to love doing business with us, the only way to make that happen in a meaningful and sustainable way over time is to create an environment or a culture, as we've come to call it, or a team, whatever it is, whatever the scope is, that people love working in and being a part of. If I don't love working here, it's very difficult for me to create an experience that my customers are going to love. And as a leader or as an entrepreneur, if I want to create an environment that people love working in, I can't do that. It's impossible for me to do that unless what? Unless I love them, love this business, love our customers, et cetera, myself first. So this all becomes very personal very quickly. We want our customers to love doing business with us. That means we need to create an environment that people love working in, and I can't do that unless I love it myself first. So this is the work that I do, and in the book, you'll find lots of examples and case studies. One of which is a person by the name of Jill Lublin, as a matter of fact, if I recall my own book, which I do. So lots of examples, because this is the key, right? It's what should love look like in the way that we do business. So let me give you an example, an individual example. I've got lots of examples. If we were working on, changing the culture of an entire company, then the question becomes, what should love look like in the way that we do business as a company? What should love look like in the way that we approach our customers and with our HR policies, with our hiring procedures, with our comp and benefits, with our physical environment, with the way that we connect with people when we're working virtually? All these things we have to do as a company. But as individuals, we also need to ask the question. So what should love look like in the way that I do business? So that's the question that I'm going to ask you guys to consider with each other here in just a little bit. What should or does love look like in the way that I do business? So, for example, give me one of these. If you've ever in your storied life had a job delivering pizzas, anybody ever do that? Do we have any former? Peter has. Cheryl has. Anybody else? James has. Claudia has. Well, quite a few of you. All right. So I'm going to guess that there's a spectrum. You may have liked the job, you may have thought it was fun, or you may have thought it was torture. But I'm going to guess that there was probably not an instance where you said to yourself, "This job is awesome, I want to do this for the rest of my life. I'm guessing you probably didn't say that. Now, I'm going to tell you a story about a guy named Joe Jaros. Joe Jaros was a pizza delivery guy. And he delivered pizzas for a company called Marco's Pizza, which is now one of the fastest growing food franchises in the country. Joe Jaros lived in Ohio, and he delivered pizzas. And if you were to ask Joe back in the days when he was a delivery guy, hey Joe, would you be doing this for the rest of your life? He would have told you no. But if you would have asked him how he felt about his customers, here's what he would have told you: I loved them. Now, so here's the question: what should that look like, or what did it look like in the way that he delivered pizzas? I figure if we can answer it there, we can answer it anywhere. So here's what it would look like. So Joe would drive up to a house with a hot pizza. And if he was walking up the walkway and he noticed that, for example, the light bulb in the porch was burned out, what do you think he would do? Change the light bulb. Change the light bulb. Change the light bulb, deliver the pizza. Now, why would he do that? Because that's what you do when you love somebody. It's a simple act of kindness coming from the heart, right? Pretty simple. And then he lives in Ohio, as I mentioned. And in Ohio, I live in San Diego. But I grew up in Chicago, so I understand something about Ohio, because in Ohio, they have this thing, it's called winter. So, if you're delivering a pizza in the winter and it's snowing, or right after a snowstorm, he'd drive up to a house, and if he noticed that the walkway was covered in snow, what do you think he would do? Shovel the walk. Shovel the walk. Shovel the walk, deliver the pizza, change the light bulb, deliver the pizza. I guarantee you there was nowhere in the Marco's employee manual that said shovel walk, deliver pizza, change light bulb, deliver pizza. He did it because he loved them. And here's what started to happen, as you can probably imagine. Pretty soon, at that store that he worked for, they started to get calls from customers who would deliver a pizza and also ask for Joe to deliver it. I'd like a pepperoni and mushroom, please, and can you have Joe deliver it? Well, this caught the attention of the owner. It's a franchise operation, right? So the owner of that store said, "What's going on with Joe?" Checked into it and got to know Joe, and was so impressed with this guy and the way that his customers felt about him that he made Joe a partner in his store. Now, if you fast forward a few years later, probably 6 years now, Joe Jaros owns 8 Marco's stores. And if you were to ask him and I have, by the way, if you were to ask him the secret to his incredible success, he'll tell you that it was just a matter of loving people, being kind, and then recognizing that in other people. He recently opened a store in Florida, and one of his employees was very much cut from the same cloth as Joe. And she was, working in the store, and he made her a partner in very much the same way. So he's created this incredible culture of love and kindness. And I figure if we could do that there, we could do it anywhere. But it had to do with conscious intent, right? It's about conscious intent and asking the question, what should love look like? To the point where, you may wonder if you're a critical thinker with a little bit of skepticism, which, by the way, I am. The question is, wait a minute, are you telling me that this guy kept light bulbs in his car? And the answer is yes, he did. Because apparently burnt out light bulbs was not that uncommon an occurrence. So he kept light bulbs, he kept the shovel, he kept all the equipment that he needed to be kind and loving to people as a way of doing business. So the framework that I work with and that I've been teaching and working with companies to apply is what I call the Radical Leap framework, which stands for love, energy, audacity, and proof. Cultivate love, generate energy, inspire audacity, and provide proof. So the Radical Leap, which was my first book, it came out in its first edition in 2004. And I've been teaching and consulting around that model ever since. We have lots and lots of case studies of how effective that is for individuals and for organizations. So as you go into your circles, there's a couple of things that I'd like you to consider, and one thing that I'd like you to discuss with each other. Consider your own, let's call it journey, to use a bit of a cliche, in this framework. Maybe you've just heard it for the first time 30 seconds ago, but to what degree are you cultivating love? To what degree are you generating energy? To what degree are you inspiring yourself and others to be audacious in the pursuit of phenomenal dreams? And to what degree are you proving that you mean what you say through your actions and through your results? So to help you answer that question, I have an assessment, a free assessment that you can take. If you go to leapassessment.com, you'll find it, and you'll answer some questions. It'll generate a report for you, along with lots of ideas based on your scores, the way you score yourself, to start doing these things with more intent and do them more frequently, et cetera. Okay. So I'm sure Mary Beth will make sure that you get that URL. But the question that I'd like you to discuss with each other is what I mentioned before. What can I or should I do to show you pick the context, customer, team, family, community, whatever, that I love them? Or another way of saying it is, what should or could love look like in the way that I do business?
Thank you, Steve. That was beautiful. Can we just give him some love, some
Woo!
beautiful jazz hands, and thank him for that?
I got to change it.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
So do we, just saying. So here's what we're going to do. In the chat, by the way, is his assessment tool. We are going to go into groups of 5 people, and feel free, by the way, also to get to know each other in the group and discuss that. You've got 12 minutes in this circle to discuss it. Designate a timekeeper, please, so that each person gets a fair amount of time. And I would recommend probably 1.5 to 2 minutes apiece. That way you're not pushing the time and you got a little bit of cushion there. All right. So designate a timekeeper, click join. You've got 12 minutes to talk about love, because it's just damn good business. We'll see you in just a few minutes back. Bye, everyone.
Deeply understood them.
Okay. Okay, great. All right. All right.
So,
Mary Beth, go ahead.
So what happens when they come back from the circle? Do you debrief it at all?
I'm debating that, because usually what I also like is
On the love.
Nice message, Steve. Nice message, Steve. That was very good.
Thank you.
What is the title of your book again?
Love is
thank
just
you.
Business.
Love is damn good
Good,
business.
and we're posting. Go ahead and mute everyone, Mary Beth, for just a moment. And we're posting Steve's link and his book title and his link to his assessment, which he offered so kindly. And I just want to debrief for a moment. We'll just take a few minutes, and then we're going to go into another fun circle of give and receive. So who's got a comment or just something that you felt? Steve's here and listening. We'll take 3. So raise your hand in the chat or raise your hand in the Hollywood Square. Who's got a comment? Mary Beth, help me find the first 3 who raised their hand.
Nice. Cheryl Sosnowski, was that your hand raised? Jane, Elizabeth, and that's just the first page I can see.
Okay,
so.
those 3. We'll do those 3. That's perfect. Go ahead, Cheryl.
Well, what I got out of it and what I loved, Steve, was the idea of practical kindness. And so I want to use the idea of a light bulb and a shovel as a metaphor. And I'm like, oh, what light bulb and shovel can I carry with me today that I can give to my clients and give to random people to spread the goodness and love and kindness and peace in the world. So thank you for that. I love that.
I love that. And I'm gonna tell Joe Giros that that's what you're doing. That's a great idea. I love it.
Thank you, Cheryl. And then I think you said Jane, Mary Beth?
Is it James or Jane?
It was James and Elizabeth.
Cool. All right, well then I'll go. And for me, this was such a great topic, Steve. I mean, because like you said, like growing up with business ideas, people always think business is war, right? And it's like you have to like be totally at war, in order to be successful in business. So that was the mindset, I think, growing up, and hearing about it from the shows and everything, Wall Street. So you think business is like that, but you just validate it. I mean, for me in my business, we're all about love, light luxury, for our, sharing tea to the world. But you just validate it to me. Like, it makes me feel so good that like, you and all of us here are validating that no, good business, you have to have love in good business, and you'll actually be more successful. So it just validates my own way of wanting to be, and then resisting the urge to kind of like go, wait, am I doing it the right way? Should I be more business-like, more warlike, to try to be successful? But no, this is helping me to kind of really support my idea of what I want to bring into the world and how to do it. So thank you very much.
That's great. And to be clear, a business based on love is about raising the standards and the expectations, not lowering them. So that's exactly right. It's, we tend to think of war as the ultimate stakes, but the stakes are really high in a love-based business.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
And Elizabeth.
Well, I really
Elizabeth.
appreciate Steve. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Steve, I really appreciate your comments, and it really rings well in my heart. And one of the things that our group was fabulous. We really just shared a lot. But one of the things that I brought up was the fact that scientifically, we contribute to ourselves when we give, when we're kind. Our body creates dopamine and serotonin, which is, gives you a lot of good feeling in your body. And it also contributes to your health. And so it's also, there's a selfish part of being good and being kind, is that you are doing something for yourself. So I just wanted to share that because I have a scientific background in a sense, and I just wanted to do an add-on about that.
Amen to that.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. All right, Steve, oh my God, we could talk to you forever because, you're amazing. And I just want to thank you. And I want to express our appreciation of you. I know the work you do in the world, and I know how you're spreading love through corporate America, through businesses. So thank you for all the great work you're doing. Mwah. Keep being kind. Let's give them jazz hands.
Thank you, everybody.
Woo! Thank you, Steve. Beautiful, beautiful blessing that he is. So I would love to take another opportunity to put you into circles, to share the love, to share the kindness, because everything we do here is about sharing the kindness and spreading love and spreading peace. Before I do that, I want to say a few things. At number one, next month, we're featuring Jan Jorgensen. He is the founder of NeuroGym. He's a major mindset and transformational expert, author of many, many books. Jan Jorgensen is quite well known in the new thought leader area. So come on, and same time, same channel. Mary Beth will post it in the chat. And I have a favor to ask. Would you be so kind to spread the word? Number one, invite another friend. I mean, the $97 investment is 2 lattes, big deal, meaning it's for the whole year. So please spread the word. And we are doing free kindness circles where we're inviting people in to kind of test drive, so to speak. So Mary Beth's going to post that in the chat. If you'd be so kind, put it on your networks. Let people know. Spread the kindness. We want to double the movement and triple it and multiply it and infinity it and spread it throughout the world, because the truth is, as we do that, we all know what happens. The whole world changes. So thank you in advance for that. Help spread the word and post it. We're doing free ones as test drives, so to speak. So we would really, really appreciate that. And then invite a friend in to the regular kindness. That would just really, really help us out. We appreciate that very much. You all have gotten emails. You should have gotten your Profit of Kindness book. So please enjoy that. Please read it. And think about, we'll talk more about this next time, but one of the things I'd like you to think about doing is what's your kindness project, just your own. Like, what would you like to do in your community and make a difference and ripple kindness in your community? Let's start local, because what I know about starting local is then it multiplies magnificently, right? And one of my kindnesses that I do is I always invite a nonprofit to be my guest at my virtual publicity course, which many of you have taken. So guess what? On February 3rd, we don't have someone yet. If you know a great nonprofit who can benefit from this, would you do me a favor, privately chat to Mary Beth, let her know, because one of my commitments to kindness is every single month a nonprofit has a scholarship. We'd love to provide that. So let us know who you think would be a great match and who needs publicity, because everyone does. What I'd like to do now is invite you to another circle, and we'll, I think what we'll do on this one is practice giving and receiving. So in these circles, we're going to have a 7-minute circle, and again, designate a timekeeper. In there, don't just say, hey, here's what I do, blah, 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 but really it's like, what can you give and what would you like to receive? One thing. Because great givers also need to practice receiving. And people who, just the receiving is such a great gift, right? And I think an act of kindness, and one thing I do in every one of these circles, every single month, is we will generate business for you. Because I'm like Steve, guess what? If you're kind in business, you're going to generate leads, referrals, connections. And that's what I want to happen here for all of you. And I'll just say to you that in my space, connections happen and miracles occur and kindness occurs. So let's keep spreading it. Let's keep giving it to each other. Let's keep multiplying it. So in your circle, designate a timekeeper, give and receive, give and receive. You can also use the chat in your circles. It's great. And we're going to do circles, put you in right now. We'll see you back in 7 minutes, everyone. Have fun.
Mary Beth, the timer in our group said we had
Beth,
11 seconds. So we were thrown off because it said we had 11 minutes.
That happened to us too.
Yeah. Oh goodness, my apologies.
We were all messed up, so I didn't get
little glitch there. Next time will be better, and we'll get the time connected and make sure that all of you have plenty of time always to connect. I'm just thanking you and blessing you and appreciating you for showing up for kindness today, for showing up for yourself, for being more kind. We're posting in the chat again the dates of the next event. We will see you in February with John Asseroff. Beautiful blessings on kindness and the brain. In the meanwhile, Jane Goodall said, what you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. Keep being kind, everyone.